All right, hi everybody. Welcome to the Off-Air Show. Mike Felger, Ty Anderson here of 98.5 The Sports Hub joins us.
What's going on?
In the guest chair. How you doing, Ty? Ty short for
Tyler.
Tyler?
Yeah, named after Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Oh, I knew that. That's right.
Middle name's Lee after.
Not Geddy Lee.
No.
Is that the bass player?
No,
Who's the bass player for Aerosmith? Hamilton?
I have no idea. No, Tommy Lee of Motley Crue.
Tommy Lee of Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
but same genre.
Yeah, we're all named after rock stars in the family.
Off-Air Show is presented by the original light beer, Miller Lite. Legendary stories start with the Off-Air Show, and they start with the light. Here's the 50 years of Miller time. What's on your mind, big boy?
Not much. About to begin one of 82 tonight. Hoping it's not as miserable as last year was.
Was last year miserable to cover?
Yes.
Why? There was a lot of shit going on.
Not even that. They're just boring, and they're bad. And how many times can you go, hey, that game was boring and bad, and talk about how boring and bad it was? Like, being around a legitimately awful hockey team is such a challenge because it's not like football where there's only 16 of them. There's 82 of them, or 16 or 17. There's 82 of them, and it was rough. And when you were on the beat, did you do the Thornton year?
Yeah, but just Joe Thornton's rookie year.
Were you there the year before, though, where they were, like, tanking for that pick?
I was not the full beat guy, but I did a lot of games.
Yeah. You know what it's like. So
yeah.
You know, it's like by late February, you're like, oh, this team's not good. We're playing for ping pong balls now. And I hate covering a tanking team. It's just not for me. I've learned I need meaningful games. I need games that matter. Last year did not have many of those. So, and it goes against my core as a sports fan to be wanting losses, right? To be wanting the best draft pick. You get it, but you're also like, this is not what I do this for.
Are you encouraged or discouraged you're going to have a season?
I think they're going to be competitive. I don't think they're a playoff team, but I think they're the first team out. I think they're the 9th seed. I think that's where they are. I just think they don't have any sort of balance to their lineup, and they are going to ride the top guys into dust. This is an Olympic year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of games in a very short amount of time, and I think guys are going to burn out. So I think that's what's going to do them in, is that they have 19,000 fourth liners and only 2 guys that can score. It's kind of an issue.
I forgot the Olympic year. That's something to look forward to, though.
It is.
The Olympics are going to be fucking balls.
Yeah. Dude, I got to tell you, covering the Four Nations face-off, I realize how much I hate Canadian reporters.
Oh, yeah?
Dude, they are brutal.
Just,
they're cheering. They're openly cheering.
Really?
They're just, I'm like, are you on
really?
the team? Are you on the team? What are we doing here?
Wow.
Yeah, it's bad. They're obnoxious, dude. We had to turn around a couple times and be like, hey, you shut up. Don't do that here. Like, just, and they all got the mics on the hockey sticks. And they, like, slash your boot with them bit, like, to get out of the way. And they're like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, nah, you knew what you did there.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Dude, they're bad.
Okay, so the rivalry extends to the press box.
I'm going to dump Pierre LeBrun on his ass next time I see him.
That's kind of sad. All right, Jake Seymour puts together some
yes.
Off-Air show. Have you taken a glance at them yet?
I have, yes.
Okay. Taylor Swift released a new album. Thoughts on it?
I'm not a Swiftie. I can respect a good pop album. I think everything I've heard from this album is not good.
Oh, so wrong.
Is it wrong? Really?
Oh, I think it's great.
It just seems very kind of like wannabe internet bad girl kind of lyrics.
So I haven't taken a deep dive on the lyrics. I'm sure, yeah. Are there some lyrics that are going to bug you or that are obnoxious? Yes, I'm sure. Okay, so I'm not going to defend every lyric that she wrote. I haven't brushed up on all the lyrics. I think the tunes and the songwriting, meaning like the melodies and the construction of the songs, is good. I think it's impressive that she's written so many big songs and hit songs and can still sort of bang one out. Like, it's hard. There's most human beings only have so much in you,
mm-hmm.
and a million people have 1 or 2 albums. Like, that doesn't take anything to produce 12 and to still be able to just bang out a little pop song like this. I just think it's sweet. It's good.
How did this happen for you?
Like, that's good. I mean, that's good. Like, it's just a pure little pop song.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's made $1 gazillion. She's done everything there is to do, and she still gets off on writing music and trying to produce new music. That's hard. And then to produce something that people want to listen to, that's fucking hard. So I don't know. I just respect it. It started with my daughters, of course.
Yeah.
But I listen to radio. I mean, I listen to radio music, radio songs. I like pop music. I'm good with most music. I accept what I mean is most, just as long as it's not country, rap, or heavy metal. Like, I pretty much listen to it. So I don't know, but it's mostly my daughters, and we experience it together and share it together. And I have a lot of respect for her, you know, and there's a lot of stuff that they listen to that I don't really get into, because I don't think there's a lot of talent behind it.
Yeah.
I think she's legitimately talented.
No, I don't argue with the talent. I just, for me, it's more, I don't like the obsessive nature of, like, you have to think everything she does is amazing, or you're like a. So like her fans are extremely fanatical.
So so you don't like her because of her fans.
No, I never said I don't like her.
Not her fault. And I'm saying if you don't like her because you don't like all the bullshit around, like, well, it's not her fault.
Right.
I mean, maybe it is kind of, but what the people fucking suck.
It's true.
So it's like, my interest in a band or an artist is going to be based on the people that follow them. I'm going to hate 95% of everybody for everything.
That's like I hate most Dead fans.
Right, exactly. So like,
you're okay.
But I mean, I wouldn't go for I don't go for the fucking Dead crowd.
Yeah.
And I don't go for the Taylor Swift crowd, and I don't go for the crowd. I don't go to a sporting event for the crowd.
See, this is where
I go to watch the game or watch the artist, and the people around you are going to suck no matter where you are. So like, I always found that silly that the Deadheads. Oh yeah, well fuck the Deadheads. Don't talk to them.
This is where I'm infinitely jealous of you and how you are basically completely unaware of social media.
Just ignore it
and how it all is.
Turn it off.
See, but like that's the thing. Like doing what I do, I have to be in touch with it. Unfortunately, like everything we do is podcasting now. It's videos. It is Twitter. The website. It's a website, not a newspaper. So like I have to be in tune more than I like to. And you're just exposed to all of these like fanatical kind of bases. Like you know who's the worst fan base on Twitter is actually Maple Leafs fans, because there's a billion of them, and like you'll tweet like, I don't think Austin Matthews had a great game, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, it's just a bad game. What are we doing here? So like there's that in every sport. But I think this is where I'm jealous of you, because you don't see these crazies that I have to see just by logging on every day.
Please. Anyway. What is your favorite Bruins memory? Maybe one as a media member and another growing up.
I mean, for me, it's 2011 is the only good memory, right? That you have. I mean, I would say as a fan, being able to watch Game 7 in 2011 with all of my friends that I grew up going to games with, because when we went to games, the Bruins were the fourth team in town. Like the Celtics won in 08, Patriots for the Patriots, obviously. The Red Sox won in 04. You know, we just loved the Bruins, right? And we never got the joy that all those, you know, other teams and their fans had. And so to be able to watch Game 7 with all of them, because I was 19, I was covering the team, but I wasn't traveling. So I watched it with all my friends in the basement that we watched all the games in growing up. And so I'd say that was probably the best memory as a fan.
So the fan, you're probably to remember 86 when they beat the Canadians for the first time. That was fucking amazing. I remember watching it on my couch in my living room in Florida. I was a 17-year-old kid. So that one, or 16, whatever, however old I was, that one was great as a media guy. Well, I don't know if this counts, but you know, we used to do the post game from the Ace Ticket across the street from the Garden.
Now a liquor store, I believe.
Is that a liquor store now?
I believe so, yeah.
And 2013, their comeback against the Leafs, watching that with Amante, and then the fans almost breaking the windows down was that was a fun one. So yeah, I
would say as media, being able to cover Jaromir Jagr, you know, a very short experience, but like Jaromir Jagr, it's just he was a cool player. He had great stories about the past. Like he was a guy who I wish his time here was longer. Like because he was just you could only scratch the surface of everything he knew about hockey, everything that he experienced, because you were only there. He was only there for 2 months. If you got another year with Jagr and you could hear more of those stories and more of like, you know, what he knew about the game, I feel like you you'd be better off as a reporter, as a writer, whatever. Just more stories.
Getting complaints about Ty's mic there, Jake the Snake.
I have him up all the way. So
I'll just hold it up here. Is that better?
I don't know what to tell you now. It's not you, it's us.
Okay.
What is your favorite Bruins Canadians memory? Well, that 86 when you beat them for the first time was hard to match that.
Was that the goalie duo?
No.
They had Mogan Lemelin, was it? Or?
Oh, well, Lemelin was a net. And that's when they were kind of a strict platoon.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not even sure if Moog was here in 86. What year did Moog get here? There was a time when it was just Lemelin, and then Moog came, and then they platooned, and then Moog sort of took over.
Yeah.
I want to say 86, Moog wasn't even here.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was just Lemelin, would be my guess. But Lemelin was in net for that. And then, I mean, I loved those for the 2011 vintage Bruins used to have a real thing with that era of Canadians. There were always great fights with was it Komisarek? What was
Oh my God, he was a punching.
You know what I mean?
Lucic.
Got Komisarek and Lucic.
He couldn't hang with them. He kept going. It's like, dude, stop it! You're getting your ass beat every time. Like,
so there were some
wild.
good scraps with that team.
Yeah, I would say that 2011 series was amazing. It looked like, that looked like they were gonna get swept. I remember leaving game 2. Like they go down 0-2. Chara's sick and dehydrated, whatever it was, and you're like, oh wow, they're gonna bow out and this is gonna be the end of Claude and what have you. But like they rally. That was a great team because I love that third line. It was Peverly, Ryder, and Kelly. Like they saved that series for them. And then game 7, it was an unbelievable game 7. I remember I was panicking, right? Like so, I'm watching that game up in the press box, and I see Adam McQuaid activate, and I'm like, what are you doing? You're Adam McQuaid. Don't do that. He makes a great play. He wins the battle, gets it up to Horton. Horton scores the game-winning goal. But like just that range of emotions, those 4 seconds where you're like, why are you activating? They're gonna get a 2-on-1 to it's in the net. You won the game. Like that was a great series. I miss those rivalries, and you don't get them anymore because you don't play your division enough.
Mark says Ty could swallow the mic and you still won't hear him.
Okay.
It's us. It's not you.
All right. I'll start yelling. I don't know.
Where is the best bar restaurant near the Garden to go before a Bruins game?
So I don't do this that often. What I do is I walk to the North End and I'll go to Ernesto's for pizza.
I love going to the North End and then walking to the Garden.
It's the way to do it.
But if I go to a Garden spot, is Porter's still there?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, so Porter's is where I like. We go to Hurricanes all the time as a show, and I would always encourage that. But I like. Is it Porter's Pub? I can't. It's Porter's.
That sounds right. Yeah.
I can't remember the exact name of it, but it's Porter's. It's on Porter Street, I think.
Yeah.
That's the restaurant I go to, and Halftime Pizza is. I'm sorry, the place to go.
It is
quick.
And they got I wonder if they still have it, the fights on the TV.
Oh, God, the best.
Like the grainy VHS fights.
The best.
From that era, that 80s era of
but,
hockey.
Oh, my fun, brunch in the North End and then walking to a spring playoff game, 3:30 start at the Garden, like, mwah.
It's the move.
Or a nice early dinner in the North End and then walk to the Garden. I am with you 100%.
Yeah, and it's not that far of a walk.
That's Boston right there.
Right. I haven't found a replacement for the Fours. The Fours was the place, and
I agree.
There's nothing that's come close to it since.
If you could change one aspect about modern journalism, what would it be and why?
We need to talk to players more. And the biggest problem is that you have teams now that cover the team that employs them. And if you have a great idea, sometimes they don't want you to do that idea because they want to do that idea. And I think that the player-reporter relationship has never been worse, where there are times where I won't see a player for 3 months, and the next time I see him, he's mad that I wrote or tweeted something about him not playing well. And it's like, well, if I had seen you, during this time, we could talk about it. There were times where players wanted to talk to me back in the day because they didn't like what I reported. They didn't like what I wrote. And we'd go down the hall, we'd have a conversation, we'd be better off for it. Now, you don't see them as much. Sometimes you walk into a locker room and it's empty, just totally empty. And that relationship gets worse because they have negative vibes. You either don't really know about it, and it kind of festers over time. So I think that's the biggest thing, is that we need to talk to the players more. And we don't need a player on a podcast to tell us how they feel. It's better if they're telling it to me, because then I can ask questions. Just the messaging needs to be better, I think. That's how I feel.
My thing is just the nature of beat journalism right now, or what guys, the the nature of how guys and women, how reporters cover teams now has dramatically changed. It used to be you were there to sort of figure out what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And now I think it feels like most of coverage is there just to sort of support the team. And I don't know what that is. The way legacy media has gone down, newspapers, traditional TV, radio, newspapers, maybe that's part of it. I think the Twitter plays a big part of it, because you could be a negative asshole covering the Bruins back in the late 90s like I was, and I'd get mail at the Boston Herald, like regular snail mail. Why'd you write that? But it's different than having to open up your Twitter feed and have the world against you, and I think no one wants to be the bad guy anymore.
Yeah.
I think it's harder to be the bad guy with all your fucking Twitter feeds is probably what it is. Where if it's just some hate mail, you can throw it away and it's only a couple letters and you don't know how much you're hated. You know what I mean?
Right,
It was easier to be the bad guy before the internet. I think my biggest pet peeve with modern journalism is that there's just not enough people who are willing to be the bad guy. Sometimes you got to be the bad guy.
I agree. Yeah. I think that with the Bruins, for example, like, I make no bones about it. I grew up a Bruins fan, and I think the best thing for my career is for them to be successful. But I still can be like, oh, they're building a bad team. But I feel like sometimes people don't want to talk about that. And, like, I've gone at it with Sweeney to the point where, like, there was one time where me and Sweeney got into it so heavily that the team got involved and they were like, we want you guys to, like.
When?
This was 2022 when they fired Bruce Cassidy. And we were going at it. So that was contentious. Yeah. And then there was a July 1 press conference that got a little bit heated between he and I, where I basically said, like, what's the plan? Like, what do you, like, have you guys done the math? Like, do you know what kind of team you're going to have? And we actually had like a moment where it was like, all right, well, let's try to settle it down a little bit here, because it was becoming a sideshow. Right. And so I think that the problem is that I think a lot of people, your access is so limited that you're afraid of things becoming a sideshow because there isn't that combative nature that you're kind of talking about. It's not there anymore. So when it is there at, like, say a 5, it comes across as a 9.
Well,
because
Sweeney's just not used
happen.
to it because It's like it just doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Where these guys really get pushed. No one really pushes them, so you do a little pushing, and all of a sudden Sweeney can't fucking handle it because he's not used to it, frankly, because no one does it anymore. Jake, you're an aspiring journalist and a soon-to-be journalist. What's your biggest pet peeve with the modern media?
Too many people want to be friends with the players, the team, the we, the us. I can't stand any of that. So how many times have they go on social media and see, oh, I traveled to this team's game, and what are they wearing? Oh, they're wearing the team they're covering, the shirt, the pants, the hat. I can't stand any of that. Get it out.
Somebody once tried to cover a Bruins game in a Bruins jersey. That was a real thing that happened, and I was like, what is happening right now?
And there are a lot of kids out there who would say right now, yeah, what's the problem? What's the problem? What's the big deal?
Well, I think to Jake's point, I think a lot of the journalists want that player to be on their podcast, or they want that player to retweet them or whatever. I think The Athletic, some of their NBA coverage is like that, like, really badly, where, like, I traveled to so-and-so's childhood home, and, like, now it's like, all right, being friends, or are we writing a story here? What are we doing? Like, we went out to dinner in Tokyo. I don't care. What does that do for anybody?
People are telling me that Porter's is gone. That's fucking sad. Another one bites the dust.
That whole area is alien now, dude.
Another good local place, and I agree. Sully's Tap is still there, yeah?
Yes.
Sullivan, yeah? It's got to be.
Yeah, Greatest Bar is still there, which I got trapped in once. I agreed to do a remote thing there once for, like, a website, and I ended up being there for like 6 hours. I was like, I want to go home now, guys. I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, sorry.
What excuse have you recently used to avoid doing something?
Oh, we rescued a kitten, and now the cat is my out for anything I don't want to do. I'm like, she's been home alone for a couple of hours. I don't know. She's a little destructive. That's what I'll do now. If I don't want to do something, I was like, oh, the cat's been alone for a few hours, and she'll rip up the blinds if we leave her alone for too long. She's fine. She's napping.
I got to tell you, I don't really use excuses. I'm sure I do, and I have. I'm not saying, like, I'm sure you could call me out and say I've done this, but mostly I just say no. Like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, like, one thing I will not do, which is common, is that my kid is sick, because I'm a big karma guy, and, like, sort of I feel you don't ever want your fucking kid to be sick, so I would never play with that one. I don't want those words to exit my mouth.
You're tempting fate.
You're tempting fate. You're
Yeah.
playing with the kids are sick gods. You're playing with it. I never do that. I just say I'm busy. I'm good. I can't make it. I say I can't make it.
Yeah, I've graduated.
I can't make it.
I have graduated to that where I just go, I don't want to do that.
I can't make it. I mean, I don't say that. I don't say I can't. I don't say I don't want to. I say I can't make it. Thanks for the offer.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Who's gonna? If anyone, second guesses that one, like, is there a follow up question? Why? Fuck off.
Yeah.
No one's gonna ask me why.
I think the last time I was really firm with somebody about this was like they wanted me to do a podcast, and I was like, okay, like how much time do you need? All of that, and they wanted 2.5 hours, and I was like, I can't do that. We can do an hour. I'm like, but our show really like doing deep dives, and I was like, I'm sorry, I can't do a 3-hour podcast. I wouldn't even want to listen to that. Like as a even if I love the subject, I can't do 3 hours of anything.
Please. So I try my best not to lie, period. Even little stuff. Again, I'm not perfect, so I'm not like acting like I never lie. I'm sure little ones slip out here and there, but I really try and do my best, even on a very little level of not just, I don't have to lie to not do something. I can't make it.
There are some people though that I don't want knowing too much about what my life is like. You know what I'm saying? So if I have to come up with an excuse, I will typically try to, just use something that they don't really know a lot about. And if they ask why, well, I'm just like, to your point, I'm not answering. I'm just like, whatever, toil in the winds, twist in the winds. I'm not doing that.
Here's a story that Jake, Red Sox Dodgers executives show interest in centralizing local rights. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're experiencing a bit of a comeback, MLB is, as nearly all of its key business metrics are up. Attendance and television ratings are rising. MLB is keying on a new television streaming deal with multiple partners after the abrupt end of their Sunday Night Baseball deal with ESPN. And the next frontier just might be local rights. Can you explain how this is all going to work, Jake?
So I think right now it's all up in the air. It's not exactly confirmed how it's going to work, but it seems like Major League Baseball is moving towards a direct-to-consumer model similar to what ESPN has put out, which is kind of ironic considering Rob Manfred came out and dumped on ESPN in the beginning of the season. So you could have had ESPN with Sunday Night Baseball for your direct-to-consumer package, and you kind of dumped on that one.
Okay, I still don't quite get it. So MLB would produce all games?
Something to that effect. Maybe they have teams that are coming in and working with the individual teams, but it's all centralized under Major League Baseball instead of having each team have their own rights, or maybe one company working on that.
I just know it. Well, here's all I know. It's going to be more complicated and cost more than it does now.
Yes.
And it keeps every day it gets more expensive and more confusing. And this is just going to be, it's not going to get simpler and more affordable. That's all I fucking know. So that's the bottom line on that.
I don't know if you're like this. I feel like you might be, but with you doing a daily show might be harder for you. I've hit the point where if you put something behind a paywall and I don't already possess it, fuck you. I'm not going to watch it. I'm just not going to. I haven't watched a Thursday night football game in a very long time. I do not watch Apple TV baseball games. I will not watch Monday night Amazon NHL games. I don't care. You want to make it harder for me as an idiot who still pays for cable? I'm not watching. I don't care. I'll do something else with my time. It's just how I feel. I am sick of getting, you said before, the boning of the consumer. I want to watch your product. Don't make it harder for me.
Finger banging.
The MLS going behind Apple is so dumb because I was like,
joke.
oh, I can put on NBC Sports Boston, or I can put on Channel 4 and I can watch the Revs. Now I need a subscription? Nah, I'm good. Not that into it.
Fucking way. You just lost a consumer.
Yeah.
All because you wanted our $4.99 a month or whatever the fuck.
It's like the principle of it now. It's not the money. It's
Absolutely.
the principle of it. I don't want to do it anymore.
I'm on a major, it's called a digital rampage. I am in the process of going through all of our because admittedly, a big problem is my wife just ordering everything and ordering it twice and me having to unravel all of that.
Yeah.
So I'm in a massive unraveling right now of killing off dual subscriptions we don't use. You signed up for premium. Why the fuck? You don't need premium. Dial that back. Give me the getting all the logins, all the getting it all organized so there's no duplicates, there's no waste. It's taking forever, but I'm in the middle of it, and it feels so good, Ty. Let me tell you, when I knock one off, like canceled, fuck off. I get my $2.99 a month back. God, I feel so good.
My girlfriend, whenever she has Sirius XM in her car, and whenever it's about to go up, she calls and goes, I'm going to cancel. and they go, oh, we'll just give you another year at $1 a month. So you can push back on these people, you know, and they will cave.
Yes.
There's that too. For me, it's just like, you know, I just don't. I am at the point now where if you're gonna make it hard for me, I'm just gonna find something else to do. It's not that hard. Never been easier to detach, which makes it all the more confusing why these companies are making it harder.
Igor says, didn't Ty have a Marchand beef this past year? Did you have a Marchand beef?
No, I don't think so. Maybe I did.
He's always got some sort of beef. He's a sensitive little guy.
Yeah. No, he had a beef with Keefe, not me.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was that.
But Keefe was right, don't we think?
You know what's funny? You know who I had the most beefs was Tuca. Tuca and I did not see eye to eye on.
Such a ball washer for him.
We did not. That's what always made me laugh when you would say that. I'd be like, we don't really get along. Like there was times when he and I would really argue about a lot of stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. And then he retired, and I saw him, and he was really drunk, and he gave me a big hug. And I was like, okay.
No, that Marchand pasta stuff was real, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
I heard a little something too.
So let me. Here's what I can tell you about that. I think Marchand's approach with younger players was not, because Marchand was a guy who had to fight and claw and scratch his way to being an NHL player. Not every player has to do that or is conditioned to do that.
To do what? I'm sorry. Say it again.
To like fight and claw their way to the league and toil in the minors and get traded off their junior team, all that shit. And I think he's like, well, I did it this way, so you got to do it that way. It's almost like I suffered, so you got to suffer too. And I think sometimes they were like, okay, that touch might not work for all these guys, right? And maybe soften it a little bit. And I thought it was kind of telling that, you know, the new camp opens and Charlie McAvoy's up there and he's talking. He's like, we got to change how we talk to younger players. It's a new generation. We got to reach them in a different way. So I think that's the closest thing you had to beef there. I think that maybe the messaging wasn't as consistent as they'd like it to be.
I heard it was a little bit, and it's really nothing salacious. That Marchand just wasn't a fan of how Pastrnak carried himself on the ice and off. And again, not even that bad off the ice, but just sort of. There's a reason Pastrnak isn't the captain. I'll put it to you like that, because he should be the fucking captain. There's a reason, and that's it. Period. Story over. And I think Marchand sort of expected Pastrnak to carry himself like that in every regard, because he was one of the most important players on the team, the longest tenured guy on the team. And Pastrnak just doesn't carry himself that way. And again, there's a reason he's not a fucking captain.
I think he's shown improvement there, though. I will say that. I do think that he was speaking after every loss last year, especially when they traded Marchand. They were putting younger players' lockers next to Pastrnak to try to get him to kind of open up more and be more of a leader.
Interesting.
So I think he's trying to show growth there. Some guys are natural leaders, others aren't. Like I always think of Patrick Kane was the best player on the Blackhawks, never the captain though. You know, he wore an A. He was never the captain. Now they had Jonathan Toews, which definitely helps there. But even when Toews was out, it wasn't like, oh, we're going to put the C on Patrick Kane here. So I'm okay with the best player not being the team captain. I'm too. But when you've been there the longest, and you're paid the most, and you're the best, and to me that story is that they're not naming Pastrnak the captain when I think he's the natural heir to it. Well, we also said that about Brad Marchand, did we not? That he's the natural heir, and that captaincy, I don't know if that went the way that everyone saw it kind of coming together.
This is true.
So there is that part of it too.
I'm holding out hope that they have a big fucking trade somewhere down the line and they're holding that C open.
You see who's off the market as of today?
Who?
Eichel.
Oh, he signed?
Yeah. 8 years, $13.5 million per in Vegas. So he's off the market. Not that I think he was ever going to come here.
Yeah.
But that'd be a guy that you'd look at and say, oh, that guy, he's a prick. And I mean that in the best way.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm talking about. The Four Nations, Austin Matthews, they just lose the gold medal game or gold, whatever game it is. And the Canadian reporters, they slime their way into the Americans' locker room. And they go up to Austin Matthews and go, Austin, don't you feel pretty good because you guys almost... It was like such like a smarmy question from a Canadian reporter.
Yep.
Eichel, at the locker next to Matthews, looks up, goes, just shakes his head like, what an asshole. So Eichel's got a bit of a prick. He was at BU, too. I mean that, again, in the best way.
Oh, Sweeney believe me, Sweeney would salivate for that.
Oh, they tried in 2020 when he was still in Buffalo. But Buffalo wasn't going to trade him in the division. But, that's another one off the market. So I don't know. But I don't think they have a captain. If it's not Pastrnak, I don't think there's a captain on that roster.
Right.
And that's probably part of their issue there.
Okay. Any final words here, Jake?
I got one last one just to
Go
wrap
ahead.
it all up here. What was the worst cup loss for the Bruins, 2013 or 2019?
Oh, 19.
19.
19. And because they would have lost Game 7. If they win Game 6 and 13, they're losing Game 7.
They lost to a better team in 2013.
Yeah,
That Blackhawks team is an all-time team.
right. And 2019, you had
At home against the Blues, who've done dick since, who did dick before and dick since. That much worse.
and your best players in that game are Joakim Nordstrom and Matt Grzelcyk, which is not great. A bad no-show from your top dogs. And what's worse about 2019 is that it's like legacy defining, right?
Definitely.
Like if they win that, you went 2-1. And you don't feel as bad about 2023 because you won in 2019.
Yes, sir.
But that is legacy defining. The Game 7 ugly, non-competitive loss. They've had too many of those, and that's the worst one. That one lingers. I mean, it's just
2019, well, I think is one of the worst losses we've had in the last decade in this town. And I know hockey isn't nearly as important as Patriots and all of that, but the just sitting there and feeling the gut punch and the air coming out of the room, I felt it for that loss almost more than any other.
yeah. I think that's like for me. That's how that story is going to be my 1986 Bill Buckner for the rest of my life. Like talking to my kids or whoever as I get older, I'm gonna be like, yeah, they had it won and they absolutely gagged it away on home ice. Couldn't have been a better spot for them, and they blew it.
Sorry to leave you with that one. Go Bruins. They're back at it tonight. Read Ty stuff at 985thesportshub.com. Jake, thanks for once again your fine work. Appreciate it. Everyone, will see you next Wednesday here, same time, same place. Bye-bye.